All right. Are y'all ready? I'm so excited. And at the end of this call, we are going to do a crypto giveaway and a little other I got two giveaways for the winner. So stay tuned. We're going to do that at the end. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about our crypto giveaways, to be honest. Y'all see the markets? It is wild and out right now. We doing a little retracement, which is healthy. But we got a lot of upside to go. So tonight's call is called Build with the End in Mind. Taking notes, write that down, big letters. Build with the end in mind. We're not building for today. We're not building for the moment. We're not here to get a quick dopamine hit. We're none of that. We are here for the long run, beyond just trading, beyond just this platform, Eovia, right? We're not just here for here. We are here for the lasting, the long term, the eternal, if you will. And I want to share as we think about this, as we kind of move through this call. I'm gonna just kind of go. I have some notes, some bullet points, but I have some things just on my heart that I want to share from personal experience that I really think is going to build your faith, build your perspective, build you as a person, and hopefully you have a takeaway from this call, some sort of value that you can just begin to apply. So I want to share just to kind of give some perspective. There are two types of builders, building with the end in mind. So there's two types of people, two types of builders. Builder number one is the builder that builds with the end in mind. That's number one. The builder that builds with the end in mind. It's the builder that's going to get to the other side and see what they've built actually make it through, actually stand the test of time, actually be able to weather the storm. That is builder number one. And builder two is the builder that built for the moment, the builder that builds for right now, for today's circumstance, for the momentary pleasure or reward or feeling that they're going through right now. It's the builder that's going to get to the other side, because we're all going to get to the other side. It's just what's going to be left on the other side. You're going to be there, but what will you be standing on? What will you be standing with? You're going to get to the other side, and that individual, the builder that builds for the moment, that builder is going to get to the other side and see everything that they built did not actually last, did not make it through. And so, as I'm going through this call tonight, I want you guys to think about, okay, kind of like, yes, every call I feel like should be this kind of self-assessment, this self-inventory, this check-in, check-up on yourself, and just look at it from a bird's eye view, not any like personal, like, I'm taking it to heart, like, yes, you should, like, I got to work on these areas, I got to improve, or hey, this is, I'm on the right track, whatever it may be. These calls are really like, yes, maybe new information, but half the time it's just reminders. And that's what we really need at the end of the day. We don't need a lot of new stuff. We just need repetition. We need repetition and an emotional impact of the things that we're doing. And that's how we're going to actually create change. So I want you to think about, where am I? Where are you in what I'm actually sharing with you? Okay. And I got to give all credit where credit is due. This is like, yes, it's from personal experience that I'm pulling from when I give you examples, but majority of what I'm going to share with you, as far as like the topic and the concept, I'm pulling this from different Go Live sessions that I've been on, and I'm predominantly pulling it from the last few services at my church have been insane and have really made a huge impact on me. And so I want to start off, to encourage you. I want to give you some perspective on how to build with the end in mind, how you cannot just make it through the other side, but come out with the fruit. Come out with the fruit that what you built can actually weather the storms, can actually survive the fires that you're absolutely going to go through, that you outlast your individual process. And I want to start off with just a scripture as a reference to give you some sort of biblical truth and foundation to kind of build what I'm going to share with you off of. But First Corinthians chapter 3, it says, I'm going to paraphrase this, but we should build with care, because what you build and how you build will be shown for exactly what it is. We should build with care, because what you build and how you build it will be shown for exactly what it is. not what we think it is, not what it should be, not what it seems like, not what we thought it would be, but for what it actually is, what exactly it is. Your work will eventually be brought to light. What you have built will be revealed with fire. Fire purifies, fire refines. What you have built will be revealed with fire, and the fire will test the quality of your work, will test the quality of each person's work. If what has been built survives, the builder will receive a reward. So wanted to give that as a form of reference. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's talk about this because I want to give perspective and I want to relate everything back down to, yes, practically what we do in our day to day, how we can continue to, outside of trading. Yes, I want it to be perspective for that, but I also predominantly, since we're all in this space together, I want to give real time examples and perspective on just trading and investing. Let's just keep it how it is, like that. So what have you been doing? Here's a question. What have you been doing the last, let's say, 90 days? Okay, what have you been doing for the last 90 days? Does the fruit of your work, does the fruit of what you've been doing and results, maybe, because usually the results will appear about 90 days later. So does the fruit of your work reflect builder A, builder one, the one that builds with the end in mind, or builder B, number two, builder that builds for the moment? What has that look like if you had to reference? You don't have to put in the chat or anything like that, but just think about it, write it down, what comes to mind. Okay, I'm going to give you some examples because I want to keep this. I think examples, like practical examples, can really be, it can really be so moving because it's like, that's relatable, that's literally me, that's what I do every day or every week, and this happens. Did you cut corners? Did you skip a day and that day turned into a week, that week turned into a couple weeks, a month? I've been out of it, of doing the work. Are you laying your brick when you build? Are you laying your brick day by day? Did you over leverage a few times? Did you, let your emotions get the best of you? Did you flip flop strategies? I mean, the list could go on, right? Maybe you started that trading account and two days later you had no trading account. Maybe you started with $200 and a couple weeks later it turned into $2, right? This is stuff, man, that I can relate to myself. Okay, when I'm sharing this, these are things that I have gone through individually to some degree, or I have recently experienced. Okay, not the blown accounts. We don't do that anymore, but I have been there. Okay, so maybe that's where we've been. And let's say you've had some winning streaks. Let's say you've had some big wins, using those big lot sizes, those standard lots, because they're so tempting, they're so enticing. I just want to grow my account. I'm sick and tired of seeing a couple dollars, kind of compound over time. I'm so tired of waiting. I'm so tired of being patient. And in the moment, it may seem like things are going good until that $1,200 account that you over leveraged to build becomes now a $52 account overnight. That has literally happened to me. On a larger account, I literally lost it, almost all of it, overnight, and I took a huge break, and I thought trading was the end of it, and obviously it's not. We are here, thank God. But because I'm giving these examples, because as fast as it was built is as fast as it will fall. Write that down. As fast as it was built is as fast as it will fall. Maybe you were deceived to think that shortcuts would lead to a lasting harvest. That if you just follow your gut just this once, you just go with how you're feeling and not what your plan says, that, maybe I could just make up what I lost. But man, is the enemy sneaky. He gets us with those subtle, seemingly harmless ideas. It won't hurt any. It's okay, just this one time. But we all know if we skip the gym one day, it becomes a lot easier to justify skipping 2 days, to justify make an excuse here and there, cut a little corner, shave a little edge off 5 days a week, so on and so forth. Especially, this is very specific, very tailored to you if you have not embedded the habit, let's say in this example, of working out. If you have not embedded the habit of showing up consistently and learning the skill and doing the right things, if you haven't made it not just a habit, but a way of living. It's who you are. See, I'm not disciplined because it's something I must do. I am disciplined because it is who I am. I hold myself to a higher standard. I am accountable to my actions, to my decisions, to the things that I'm doing or not doing because it's who I am. And you don't get there overnight, but it can be made with a decision. It just happens over time. And when you're going through that period where you have to embed the right habits and the right mindset, the right behaviors, so on and so forth, the right beliefs, you can't. There can be no cracked door. You give the enemy an inch, he's going to take the whole yard. He's going to take the whole mile. So we've got to, if it's not automatic, if it's not second nature to show up, to go live, to use risk management, to take trades regularly, to, journal and document what we're actually doing, our execution, okay, then you cannot rely. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but I hope that you're taking something in with this, that we cannot rely on our feelings or our gut or intuition, whatever you want to call it, to make decisions for you. All of my decisions when it comes to trading are pre-planned, preset. I don't even think about it. I follow my schedule, I follow my rules, I follow my plan to a T. Like, you must follow your rules and your plan. You must follow your schedule without compromise. Compromise, write this down, is the reason we don't have different results in one way, shape, or another. We're compromising the right things to do the wrong things. It's okay, just this once, which turns into a compound effect, a snowball. We justify things to fit our feelings instead of taking ownership. Okay, I'm going on a tangent here. I just want to give you guys a picture. We don't want to reap, because when we do that, what happens, and this is at a spiritual level, we see everything with our eyes, but we need to see things. We need to see things in a different way. Like I want to get to the root. And a lot of times it's more spiritual than we can even understand maybe in that moment. So what happens is we start to reap the fruit of impatience. We're undisciplined. We're frustrated. We're doubtful. We're maybe even prideful. And I've been here, even maybe entitled. I hate to use that word, but maybe even entitled to think that, hey, I should be much further. I should have this, or I'm okay with cutting corners and not doing the work to the fullest. It's not like that, guys. And I hope that this is just maybe some reminders, some healthy reminders on this call, okay? Or maybe that hasn't been you, okay? Maybe that hasn't been you, and I'm not speaking to you with that description I just shared. Maybe this is you. Maybe you've been focused the last, let's say, 90 days, last 12 months. Maybe you've been locked in. Maybe you've been plugged in to the Go Live sessions. You've been following your plan. You've been diligent. You stuck to one strategy. You've used proper risk management. You've documented and journal your trades. You've had self-control. You've let your trades play out. You've been building this yourself, brick by brick, being patient. You not only built your account, but you built confidence in yourself and your system. You may have had 5 losses in a row. Guys, I have had, I don't even, I'm going to show you at the end, okay? I will show you at the end. You have built self-control, patience, faithfulness, diligence. You found joy in the process of learning and understanding yourself. You found, peace and contentment in where God has you. That is, man, like, if you can get to that place, that is the sweet spot. Like, that is the place to live in your moment to moment, in your day to day. What you have been building will eventually be revealed. Whatever side you're on, whatever you have been building will eventually be revealed, will be exposed, will be brought to the light, or will be promoted. Okay. If you were to take a bird's eye view of yourself and what you've been doing last 90 days, put a number in there. Okay. What would you see? What behaviors would be evident? What habits would be obvious, would be clear? When faced with difficulty, what tendencies and reactions are repeated? There are some things that have made their way into your life that have overstayed. They are no longer, like, they are costing you more than they're helping you in this next transition, in this next chapter, in this next season of where you're trying to go. They have overstayed. And in order to not just attain, because I've been there, I've attained results and I've lost it. I've attained results and I've lost it. We don't want to just attain. We know this. Okay. In order to not just attain the results you're looking for, but to actually sustain them and multiply them and scale them, there are certain qualities, attitudes, mindsets. What is your mind set on? Okay, your mind set is is determining your beliefs. It stems into what you believe, and what you believe is determining, what your decisions are and the results that you make. Okay, so it's all gonna affect your beliefs that need to be tested, that need to be weeded out, the things that are no longer serving you, that you cannot afford to hang on to anymore, that you've got to let go and surrender. Okay, and this will be done and revealed through the things that you go through. So I want to share with y'all. That was my intro. Okay, I want to share with you guys three main things. Okay, three main things. I want to answer this question: how do you build something that will last in and through the fire? While you're in the fire, while it's painful, while you're going through your process, for whatever period of transformation that God is taking you through. Okay, I want to share three things on how to build something that will last. Okay, when I say something, I mean whatever the craft is here. Let's say trading and investing. The skills here, but really importantly, you're building yourself. That's what we're doing. I can teach a 10-year-old how to read, how to read a chart, how to use the harmonic scanner, and learn the strategy. Okay, I can teach a 12-year-old how to use Swipecoin. Okay, but at the end of the day, the work is on yourself. And that's why I'm constantly showing up to the live sessions, because I need to know my blind spots. I need to see the areas of myself that I am overlooking, that I'm not seeing by myself. Okay. And that's why we have great community. So three things. Number one, build carefully. Build carefully. Okay. Building with diligence, building with purpose, building with intention. Every day you have a brick that you're laying down. Some of y'all, I text you, and half the time our conversation, I always say somewhere in there, brick by brick, because that's what it is. Every day you have a brick. You wake up, I say, God, I'm so grateful for another day, for breath in my lungs, for a healthy heart, healthy mind, healthy body. Thank you for relationship with you, that I get to walk with you, and I'm looking at this brick that I was given. I'm laying it down. I'm being diligent. Can you imagine? I'm just giving you an example, okay? I want you to imagine. Can you imagine, okay, your portfolio right now? If I don't know, I know everybody has been here different amounts of times. But let's just say last 4 years. Doesn't matter if you've been here for 4 years or not. Okay. Can you imagine your portfolio right now if you bought Bitcoin every week for the last 4 years without compromise? Let's say you put 25 bucks in every week. Let's say 100 bucks a month, 150 bucks a month. You bought Bitcoin every month for the last 4 years, 48 times without compromise. If you were committed, what that would look like. I couldn't even tell you. I'm talking to myself here. I know I was not that consistent. And we all have areas. We all have gaps that we need to work on. But can you imagine if you were just committed? And I'll tell you, our carelessness, number one, is going to cost us. Our carelessness, overlooking the little, the mundane, the boring, okay? It's costing us. Compromising is costing us. Inconsistency is costing us. What does it look like to build carefully? Well, I'll bring it all back. It's the fruit of the spirit. It's patience. It's not rushing. It's self-control, not making decisions irrationally. It's being faithful, not moving out of scarcity or fear based. I am action oriented. I'm process based. I'm not outcome centered. Yes, I have a target, but that's not my entire identity, because when I don't get the outcome, my identity doesn't fall with it. My identity is not wrapped in what my result of the day is. It's what am I focused on? What are the things that I can control? That's what I'm focused on. I'm careful to adhere to my plan. I'm patient to let my trade play out. Guys, I have been in a trade for GBP USD for a buy. I've been waiting for this setup for probably a good month or so. It's been a while. And it finally hit my pending limit on Thursday last week. And I have been in the trade. It hasn't taken me out yet. I am so close to my target, because I checked it earlier today, and I was this close to pulling my trade out. And I've got a trailing stop and everything. And I'm giving you guys some perspective here, because I was tempted in a moment to pull my trade out, not let it ride. And I was like, why are you going to do that? Like, you're going to go against your plan. And it's not going to just be this one time, because if you leave the door open once, you're going to do it again. So I am patient to let my trade play out. I am disciplined to following my schedule. I'm giving y'all examples. It's the trick. Oh my gosh, write this down. It is the trick of the enemy to turn you from committed to careless. Committed to careless. And careless doesn't mean like I imagine somebody just, surrounding them is just like a mess, right? They're careless to pick. It's little stuff. It's not even like this big stuff. It's the small things that we overlook and underestimate every single day. It's not cutting corners. So I'll turn on go here. I'll give you some examples. I will turn on go live, but I won't take notes. I'll take the trades, but I won't review them. I'll invest in crypto, but I won't hold it till the targets they give me. I'll watch go live, but only if I wake up on time. Only if I'm not too tired when I get home from work. I'll backtest my charts, but I won't follow my plan. See, we must be careful. We must build carefully. We must operate carefully, because in First Peter it says we must be alert and of sober mind. The enemy prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. He doesn't care if you do good in one area as long as you're careless in other areas. Our complacency will take us out. Our compromise is going to take us out. Those little things, man. I'm talking the details. God is also in the I know it seems like the enemy's right there. God is also in the details, and I'm telling you, you've got to pay attention. You've got to pay attention to the little things. Okay, we must recognize that we will self-sabotage our own progress by overlooking the details, the small things. Maybe the reason we're so frustrated, we're maybe in honestly a sense of like torment with ourselves, or we've fallen into deception in some way, shape, or form. Okay, within our journey is because we just have been building this thing carelessly. What seems good, what feels good is not always good in the moment. And I need us to recognize that things are not going to get better unless we first acknowledge and accept where we actually are in our process, where we need to make some corrections, make some adjustments. Okay. So that's number one. Build with care. Building carefully. Number two, y'all with me? Are we good? Are we solid? Are we here? Okay. All right, so number two, build with quality. Build with quality. What does this mean? It means I'm selective. I'm selective with how I am investing my time, my money, my energy, okay? You don't spend, and this was a mindset shift when I mean, your language, the words are everything. You have the power, of life or death in your mouth, in your tongue. So when I saw this in this way, I was like, man, this is a whole perspective change. Everything is perspective. You don't spend what you have, you invest it, because spending to me means what I just did is going to end. It's not going to give much or any return at all. So when I spend something, I'm not anticipating some sort of return, whether it's for myself or in hopes of, generously giving to somebody else. Okay, let's just give that example, either for me or others. My perspective is that everything I do is an investment. That way I take it more seriously, because when I make that investment with my time, with my energy, with my money, whatever it is, I am going to see some sort of return on that investment. And here's the kicker. I wrote this down the other day. I think I heard it from Mike Navarrete, if I can find it. I posted on my story yesterday. Yes, it is. The cost of being disciplined. The cost of being disciplined is acknowledging that you're not really going to gain much in that moment, that you may not gain much in that moment. The gain will show up later and will more often be worth more than you can imagine. Okay. So a lot of times we're not going to see the return in that moment. Again, building with the end in mind, we're not going to see that return in the moment, but I know long term, I've got to almost pull from my future to grab some of that dopamine that we're a fiend for, right? We're on TikTok or social media. We're looking for the next thing to scroll past. We're looking for the next post that we can make. We're looking for the next comment, whatever, right? We're a fiend for the dopamine. And we can't be doing that in the moment. We've got to almost pull from that pool from our future, okay, and just kind of have that lasting perspective. So I take it more seriously when I look at it like that. So if you're going to build something that survives the fire, you must build quality. The things you are going through, it is testing the quality of your attitude, testing the quality. Like when you go through things, when you decide I'm gonna wake up at this time so I can get a go live session in the morning before I show up. Why is go live so important? You've got to get yourself in the right environment. That's why one of the first things that I do in the morning, one, I pray and I read my Bible. I've got to get my work, my focus, my attention on the number one thing, the most important thing of my day is Jesus. I've got to make sure that He is number one, no matter what. So that's one of the first things that I'm doing in the morning. I've got to make sure my mind is set on the right things, on the right one, on the right source. And so same thing here when it comes to our trading every day, every day, every day. I've got to condition myself. I'm in the right environment. I'm seeking feedback. I'm getting questions answered. I'm a part of the community. I'm not isolating myself. I'm not distancing myself. That's exactly where the enemy wants you. Okay? So when I'm going through things that again we're not compromising, that will cause me to maybe compromise or get complacent, those are all testing the quality of your attitude, how you're going to show up, how you're going to respond, your faith. Are you going to persevere? Your patience, are you going to be patient while you're waiting, while you're going through things? Are you going to be disciplined in your decision making? If we don't build quality, then our faith will show up in the same way. Our faith will show up in the same way. We will think we have faith, but we won't actually have the faith that we thought will be there, because everything's going to be revealed in the fire. Everything's going to be revealed in the day to day. So when we're in the valleys, our day to day will reveal what we thought was solid versus what actually is. The fire will reveal. Write this down. The fire will reveal your honest response. What is really there, and it's easy, man. And this is why, man. Like I'll get to that actually in a second. I'll say it in a second. It is so easy to show up when things are going well. It's easy to get excited when things are going well. But do you keep showing up when it gets tough? I know that's such a redundant thing to say. I say it all the time, but it's so true. Do you keep showing up when it gets tough? I want to be faithful. I want to be patient. I want to be disciplined, even in the fire. We want quality work. We want quality time invested. We want to make quality decisions. Otherwise, we'll end up with some counterfeit, fake version of success. It won't really be success. You'll think you're on your way to success, and you're actually on your way to your greatest downfall. It's to take shortcuts. We'll take shortcuts, but what is actually lasting is doing it the right way. No matter how many shortcuts we take or excuses that we make, it will never lead to the real results that we're looking for. Which let me just clear the air here. We're not I know we think that we're here for a specific outcome, and yes, we are, but I just want to tell you the fruit that you're looking for, that you don't even know that you're looking. I didn't even know that I was looking for. Okay. I look back at some of my Snapchat like videos, and I am like so cringing at myself. I'm like, who is this girl from 7, 8 years ago that just literally said anything and everything that was on her mind? No filter, no conversation with God of like, should I be saying this? Should I be putting this out there? Like, what is going on? Like, I was just ignorance on fire. I was full passion, but just no context. Hey, I didn't have the right understanding of what I was actually here for. Like, what was actually going to provide the fulfillment and the lasting effects of like what we're actually here. Okay, so we're not here just for an outcome. It's actually for a state of being. It's a mindset. It's a heart posture. It's the fact that I can be content in the valleys. It's the fact that I can be content no matter what I'm going through. That I can be filled with joy in the storms. This is what I'm talking about. I can be patient in the waiting. I can be disciplined in the mundane, in the boring. That is what I have, that what I hope and what I pray for every single one of you on this call. That is what I pray for. That when it doesn't matter if the outcome has shown up yet, because I know God's provision. I'm not here to do prosperity gospel or anything like that, but I know, like, when we are faithful, when we just keep our eyes on God, when we just follow Him, He will take care of whatever needs to be taken care of. He will provide for our needs. And sometimes that's not what we want. But I can tell you he can do the refining process no matter where you are. No matter where you are. I can be disciplined in the mundane and the boring. And I can tell you it is the lie of the enemy to get you to believe that counterfeit building, shortcuts, doing it, half what is what will get the job done just as fast with the same results. No, it won't. It's not true. Don't you know narrow is the road that leads to salvation and sanctification? If that is true, it's going to be true here. It is going to be true here. I don't want to build something that's fast. I want to build something that's going to last. I don't want to build something that's fast. I want to build something that's going to last. This is why I can show up every day, day in, day out, no matter how I feel, no matter what's going on, no matter what I see in my trading account, no matter if my portfolio is up or down, no matter how many people I have on my team. I'm not focused on that. I can show up every single day, tune in to go live, continue to build and help people in relationships and take trades consistently and document what I'm doing and use risk management and ask questions and seek feedback because I want to build myself and my craft to last. I'm not building for just an outcome that I feel like I need to have and I want to have. God knows what you need. I don't know who needs to hear that, but God knows what you need. And sometimes what we think that we need or what we want is not actually what he thinks and knows, what he knows that you need right now. Okay. That was number 2, build with quality. And the last point is literally the name of the call. You've got to build with the end in mind. You've got to build with the end in mind. When you make a decision and set out for something, be prepared for a journey. You made a decision, you want something, you're going after something, be prepared for a journey. Be prepared for a process. Be prepared to go through the fire. Listen, my life mission, I just want to last. I will not come on here and do calls and talk about flipping accounts, making all this money, hype, just to get your attention, just to, feed your eyes on a shiny object, on a prize. No, I'm not going to do that. And I don't care if there's 5 people on this call. It doesn't matter. Okay. I will continue to, and I'm sharing this with you guys because I want you to operate with this, and my faith is not anywhere near, people that I watch and listen, and probably even some of you guys on this call. But I'm just telling you, my faith has increased a lot this past year since I've been walking with God. And I'm here to tell you, like, I'm not focused on the things that are fleeting, that are not going to last. I really want to build your guys' character, and I'm not going to build it. You and God are. I'm just trying to give some perspective. And if you're hearing, if you're hungry, if you're coachable, if you're ready, like you're going to take this in, you're going to apply it. I really want to build people. So my entire life mission, I just want to last, man. I just want to be here. I want to know that when I'm older, in a decade, 2 decades, whatever it is, that my faith has lasted this far. My passion and fire is still here. I'm still persevering with no loss of enthusiasm. I'm still here. It's called staying power. And it's not sexy. Staying power is not sexy. It's still being here. It's still staying loyal to what you are doing. Showing up. Job's not done. Kobe says it, right? Job's not done. Job's not done. We're still here. I want to go here and do this and get that now. That's not the right mindset. I want this. I want that now. No, that will have you out the game. That will have you frustrated. That will have you bitter in your entire journey. Wondering what's wrong with me. Why am I not getting where I want to go? You gotta shift your focus, man. You gotta shift how you're seeing things. What I really honor, what really impresses me, what I will give homage to, like, is the one who remains even when they aren't in the spotlight, even when God hasn't given them what they wanted, what they prayed for yet. Still working diligently, day in, day out, still showing up, faithful, consistent, regardless of the outcome, regardless of what they see right now. That's why I'm still here, because it was never just about an outcome. I mean, when I first got started, I thought it was. But then I realized if I want to have any kind of result that's lasting, I need to work on myself. Whether it was trading, sales, you name it. If I'm not gonna like, if I don't make it here, wherever I go, there I am. I'm still me. I still have things I need to work on, right? That's why I'm still here because it was never just about an outcome. It was about transformation. When I realized that, that's when like, man, that's when things 360, boom, things started to change. Things started to change. And change, when I say change, you guys may not be able to see because I don't put all that out there like physical change, but I can tell you internally, change, man, change. What is God doing in me? That's my focus. What is God doing in me and through me? God's grace is sufficient. His grace is sufficient. Why am I worried? Why am I scarce? Why am I fear-based? I am faithful. I'm not complaining. I'm continuing to show up. I don't build based on today's circumstances. I build with the end in mind. I want what is everlasting. I want what is eternal. I want what is long term. If what you build burns up, was are we going to look back? Was all the shortcuts worth it? If you get to the end, you're builder B, and you're building for the moment, meaning you're building for right now, and you get to the end, you're here at the end on the other side, and everything that you just did burns up. It's not here anymore. The shortcut, is it really going to be worth it? Are all those edges that we cut, all those things that we half you know what, was it really going to be worth it? What are we building towards? What are we building towards? I'm building with the end in mind. I'm building for what is going to last. So that's the call, guys. We're gonna do the giveaway right now. I wanted to share this last quick thing with y'all. Just again, just another ounce of perspective. I heard this from this guy the other day, and he was actually talking about um, Instagram. This is going to kind of relate to what I said. He was talking about marketing, and I've been putting my content off. Like I'm just kind of here and there, what I'm going to post and things like that. But he said something, and I remember I caught myself. I was like, man, I'm putting so much time into my content. Like, I don't think it should take this long, blah, blah, blah. And he made such a really interesting video. He was like, listen, we get access. I know you guys aren't doing content. I'm going to apply this to trading, okay, and investing. But he was like, we get access to a free platform, aka let's say it's Instagram. And we get to use Instagram for free, a free marketing platform for your business, whatever you do, right? And we get uncapped opportunity, potential people, okay, to get in front of for free, for free. I don't got to put out ads. I don't have to do any of that. I get it for free. That is worth, if you have a, let's say for example, business, that deserves more than a couple hours a week of your time. He was like, I am more than happy to put in, I am glad to put in 14, he said 14 hours a week to work on my content and market myself and my business and my brand for a free. It was all about perspective. That's what he was trying to get at. And I was like, you're right. Like what? Marketing is like one of the number one skills like for sales and things like that, like building business long term that you could learn. So when he gave that example, I was just like, oh wow, that's so good. So I related it back to trading. So, really at the end of the day, in case you guys haven't don't know this, but there's really only two ways. If you know the cash flow quadrant, there's really only two ways that you can go out in a nutshell from big picture, right? There's really only two ways that you can get your money to work for you. You either invest, okay, in this case we can trade and invest, and we can leverage and use other people's money to get money to work for us. That's number one. Number two, or you can leverage a system. You can actually leverage other people's efforts. You see all these big companies, they leverage a system with other people, employees, to sell a product or a service or whatever, and they're generating cash flow. Okay. Those are really the only couple ways that we're able to go out and get money to work for us. If you don't have some sort of way to do that, like you are at the mercy of your own time and efforts to generate all your income. Okay, no financial freedom in that. We know that. I'm just giving you guys some backstory, some perspective here to set us up. We can learn obviously both here, but what I want to touch on, learning a high income skill set, leveraging a system that gives us. That's what we're doing. Leveraging a system that gives us an uncapped earning potential. And my point of this whole thing is stop compromising. I have conversations with everybody on the team, on the side, whatever, and we're not putting in the time weekly. Guys, ask Alex. Alex is on like 10. I'm not saying you need to watch 10 go lives a week. I'm just saying she no longer has to think about if she's going to do go live. Go live is like if she reads the Bible, it's like she brushes her teeth, she's going to watch go live. It's second nature right now. It's a part of who she is. It's not something I have to think about if I'm going to do. This deserves more than a couple hours a week of my time because I'm getting access to just, oh my goodness. You guys, my portfolio has put what I've invested into this education to shame. Okay. Well worth because I've been following the plan, number one, but this deserves more than a couple hours a week. This deserves more than a few hours just because it's finally convenient to do this. Okay, I'm trying to make a point here. I'm not going to make decisions based on my circumstances right now, the reward of the moment, but the long-term gain. The gain I may see in a couple, 6 months, 12 months, 5 years, you name it. So, with that being said, guys, that is the call. I wanted to just kind of give y'all some real, like real, just real something you can take away, and you can apply for yourself. I will say the next call that we do, and I'm going to stop the recording real quick. The next call that we do is going to be on December, I think it's 12th. Yes, December 12th. So mark that in your calendar.